to northern soul. Najella, Mama Ambazonia. Najella, a voice we can call our own. Najella, Najella, Najella. Najella, Najella. Najella, Najella.
Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, whatever time. Good afternoon, whatever time you may be watching this. I'm your host, Najella, on TORRI DEY Talk Show. Yes, today I'm in the studio with somebody special. Somebody special. The chairman of War Council. The big bad boss. We know him as the big bad boss by the name of Benedict Kuah. Oh, welcome, 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 brother. Welcome, welcome, Mr. Big Bad Boss. Yes. Papa, welcome to the show. Welcome to TORRI DEY Talk Show. Papa, welcome,
Thank you very
welcome.
much. I am honored.
Yes, yes, Papa. Do you have one or two things to say before we start? Because we're going to just pop in directly, but I want to, if you have anything to say, you can just say before we start. Is that okay with you?
That is fine. Thanks a
Okay.
lot. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Mana. And can I just extend my appreciation for what you have been doing in service for our people and the struggle. It is very well done. Your sacrifice is not something that is little. Your education and the platform that you have created for the exchange of ideas pushes our effort to self determination and our destiny forward. So thank you very much for all that. And I want to also extend my appreciation to our forces on the ground, to those that are captives in jail, and to our refugees who have been displaced for all these years. My assurance to them is that we will go home. We are going to win this war. And we are going to create a society where all of you will gain those freedoms that are now being denied you. So thank you, Manna, for giving me the opportunity to address our people. I just wanted to make a statement on the issues that have been happening around our tanker brigade. For the past almost a week now, there has been certain information that had filtered out about the disciplinary action that the Ambazonian Defense Forces took in order to bring some rogue soldiers in line. We lost a great Ambazonian, a soldier of Ambazonian, with another one, our commanding general of our tanker brigade. And as always happens, cartels and some internal enablers always try, when these situations happen, to see if they are able to take over or destroy those ADF bases, since they think that the base has been destabilized with the taking out of their commanding officers. In doing that, and in the situation of Tanka, these cartels succeeded in turning the heads of a few soldiers who turned rogue, able to get out from under the ADF command and control and the ADF code of conduct. And these soldiers created some havocs, even going into churches to pick out pastors. I want to thank the coordinator for MESAM, who for months have tried as much as possible to solve this issue in a manner that is consistent with trying as much as possible to do no harm. Even the issue got right up to my desk, right up to the CIC's desk. And I want to especially thank the commanders, the commanding officer of a tanker brigade and the assistant and the officers who all this while exhibited cool heads to allow the war council and the coordinator to solve the issue so that it doesn't turn into a bloody situation. Last Saturday, the issue was successfully resolved when the Supreme General of the ADF sent a task force requested by the tanker brigade commander, and this issue was resolved. When these forces were asked to lay down their weapon and face discipline under the code of conduct of the Ambazonian Defense Forces, they opened fire and they were able to be arrested, with one of them killed and the rest taken into custody. Right now, they are undergoing punishment. After their punishment, they will be rehabilitated. Our tanker brigade is strong, resilient, and back in the field. Now, let me just send a warning to these cartels who always try to get in and buy ADF soldiers, which then cause greater havoc to the Ambazonian people and harm the struggle. They have not succeeded. They have never succeeded, but they have caused enormous destruction. We will not allow, not for 1 second, a repeat of some of the devastations they have brought, like in Bui, like in Guzang, like in Mato, like in Lebialem, and so many other places. We have the body bags to show for, but we will never, ever allow rogue forces, especially rogue forces trying to operate under the umbrella of the Ambazonian Defense Forces, to not be governed by the Ambazonian Defense Forces Code of Conduct. Anybody going online, whether out here or on the ground, trying as much as possible to destabilize any ADF base will be dealt with very, very harshly. We've learned our lessons. We have learned that lesson. So thank you, Madam Host.
Thank you, Papa. I'm sure they've heard what you've said. I'll dive on your questions. That I had some questions prepared for you, and some people gave me some of it too, and so I have to go through this. It's a lot, but we're going to go step by
Fire
step.
away.
Okay, Papa. The first question is, please tell us more about yourself. We may have some viewers on ACN, ACN TV who may not be aware of your intensity of investment in the Ambazonia War of Independence. What do you do on daily basis as the chairman of War Council? I know you've
Well,
said some things, but we want them. Some people might want to know. Yeah, yes, Papa.
it is it is so difficult to talk about yourself on a daily basis. It's a matter of trying as much as possible to galvanize um, the war effort, and the war effort is a lot about command and control, making sure that you have supplies going in, making sure that on bases that need coordination
Mhm.
and support, that coordination and support comes in with the level of our communication. Sometimes it needs the war council and myself to be involved in order to shift the forces from one area to the other. Also, a matter of making sure that there is a review of operations on the table and the approval of those operations to go forward, making sure that all of the necessities for a successful operation are in place before, because you don't want to approve operations that um, cost unnecessarily the lives of that are not well thought out. Let me put it that way. So it's a lot, but also coordinating the effort of that are people, normal people are putting in, making sure that they are directed right down to where it is most needed. At the end of the day, I need to galvanize the effort together with the War Council to make sure that the strategy for our liberation is sound, and that it is not just sound yesterday, but that it is sound currently. Because what might sound fine at this moment, certain aspects in the field or certain um, change of tactics by your enemy makes what you think that is sound today obsolete. So we have to constantly make sure that we are applying the right strategy at every given moment.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. That was. It's tough, but yeah, you're not. It's not an easy job. Yes, Papa.
It is
Yes.
not, but
How that it is
I
not
stand
from
I
what you
stand on the
explained.
shoulder of giants. Like as I just
Yes.
indicated, you had the
Yes.
coordinator for MESAM who was
Mm-hmm.
dealing with an issue that internal that cartels had made,
Yeah.
that our unit almost came to blows against each other.
Mm-hmm.
And so, if that had happened, the internal strife that they were trying to create within an ADF unit, if that had happened, there would have been more dead bodies on the ground
Yeah. Wow.
because of that. But the way that she handled it, the fact that the commanders kept a cool head, the commanders at our tanker brigade kept a cool head, and then asked the organization, because what these people fail to understand is that we are not building little um, county armies or that. The Ambazonian Defense Forces is the army of Ambazonia.
Yeah.
It is an army,
National Army.
top to bottom, with the Supreme as the general of that army. So that's what they have never understood, especially when they come out of the county by county or LGAs type stuff. So our
Yeah.
commanders in tanker can sit back and fail to take an action that might cause devastation while calling on the hierarchy to solve the problem as any army should. Because it's like this a problem within our base. If I solve it, it might be like I am using my power and my position because I feel this way to solve the problem in that base. But calling an outsider to come in, not even an outsider, calling the hierarchy to solve the problem in the base brings in a lot more resources that limit that type of um, a bloody situation to develop. But that is how you might then see somebody like the coordinator, like the secretary general, like the OGC, like myself, hold meetings upon meetings, 2 3 hours each day. I mean, like for a week on such an issue. But you do that
Yes.
because any life lost for us is weakening of the defense of our land, especially when it's lost because of internal strife, not because we are facing the enemy.
Oh, yes, Papa. Yes, Papa. Okay. The second question is, in the beginning, there were some leaders in the revolution who never wanted to hear the word self-defense. When did you when did it dawn on you that self-defense with military hardware like AKs was the best approach to fragment Cameroon army while pursuing the liberation of Ambazonia?
Um, that is really a very very great question, and it goes to the fundamental um, issues that have really made us today not to be a free, independent country. And why I say this, and let me be very clear: the moment our forefathers got out of the Eastern House of Assembly at Enugu, they should have reached Boya. Their priority should have been securing our borders. If they had made sure that the Ambazonian people, already having a prime minister, having a parliament, having a house of chiefs, having a police force, was able to have the force to defend the
Mhm.
borders of our land, we will not be where we are today. So I don't blame too much those that even came after and still thought of
Well,
playing this game of we will be able to win our independence by singing Kumbaya. So from the first moment that I got into from the AAC one, that
mm,
I really got into participation in the struggle for our liberation. There had never been any doubt in my mind that we will have to fight for our liberation. Why did I say that? Because I had already understood that we were at war. People people think that when Paul Biya stood at the tarmac coming out of a plane and declared war on Ambazonia, that's the war. The war had been going on. We had been at war for decades. La République du Cameroon, La République du Cameroon did not come into any union with the Ambazonian people. At Fumban, the agenda that La République du Cameroon had was annexation, war. That is why they dismantled our House of Chiefs, they dismantled our government, they dismantled our economy, independent economy. So they dismantled all of those. They were not dismantling it in the sense that these were a people that we are going to coexist with. When they take away your economic lifeline, that is subjugation. That is war. When they take your light, they remove your machines from power camp, transport it over, they take over your banks, they take over your livelihood. That is war. I'm not talking about the Calais that they were later instituted. I'm not talking about the protest, the assassination of our leaders. Right up to when these people killed Father Fonte for discovering that what they were coming into our schools and saying that they are vaccinating girls, they were actually sterilizing them so that they can control the population of Ambazonia. That's war. That's biological warfare. The fact of sending AIDS patients into Ambazonia. Any civil servant, army, police, Janam that contracted AIDS, they send it to 10 pandemic. All of those were already the warfare that these people were carrying out on us. So it is a very little leap to imagine that with all that going on, and if you paid attention to our history, you paid attention to how France and how their colonies have always operated. You don't have to be a genius or a nuclear scientist to know that you are fighting an existential war and that you have to fight back. So no, La République did not have to take a clever or take helicopter gunships to be firing on population in October 1 for me to realize that we were at war. We had been at war for decades.
Wow. Wow. So you all knew that. You foresaw that. Some of us, we did not see it. We were just growing, but we knew that something was going on. Something was happening. But with a person like somebody like me, I never knew it would turn to this way. But I'm happy that you people stood and you people saw what was happening, and you all stood up for us, for some of us till today. Thank you very much. I'll go to the next question is what can you tell us about the ongoing collaboration between the Ambazonian Defense Force and the other fighters in Ground Zero?
We have always, from the beginning of the struggle, always been on the platform that we face an existential struggle, Najella. We have lost more than 1,000 villages burned to the ground. We are facing a well-funded, well-trained, well-armed, brutal occupation force that is backed by world powers, economically and militarily. We do not have the option to say that we can go it alone. All 8 million of us are in this together. That is our philosophy. It has always been our philosophy. So everywhere where we have people of goodwill, good intention, focus on the same objective, which is the liberation of Ambazonia, you are our friend. Our hands are always out. I know that it has cost us and it has cost the struggle because the enemy is a snake, many-headed.
Let me ask some. Yeah, let me say we understand that nothing can last forever. What is the typical duration of this collaboration? How will the forces act in compliance with the terms and conditions of collaborating? Do you have an enforceable mechanics mechanism
Yes,
in place? Do you have it?
I think one of the most important thing that we have never shied for is setting the
Mm-hmm.
agenda for the struggle, because it has always fallen on us. Look, if the Ambazonian Defense Forces was not existing, and had not taken the struggle where it needed to go, our liberation, the defense of our land would have crumbled. It would have,
Yeah.
and that's a fact. I know from the beginning, when we needed to respond, all the plans in place, and we needed to respond to the war declared by Mr. Mbimvodo, the autocratic henchman in La République du Cameroon, when we needed to respond to that. I remember those things, those other movements that came along afterwards, like the DOD and some of this. And I can tell you that a lot of those are not in existence today. Some have turned into spokesperson for La République du Cameroun. Some have shown themselves to be traitors. Those were those who were standing, who came after, and were even in positions to tell us that we have to submit to them because they are part of a DOD or something of that sort.
Mm-hmm.
And some were banning also. I say this out of experience and history that is clear for Ambazonians of goodwill to see. If we had not held that line and stood on a platform of real codes that were written down and followed, we will not be where we are today. And so when we come into partnerships, that is how we do it. There are codes that are written and signed, and those codes are followed. You go out of those codes, that is where you are
Okay.
held accountable. And so in that way, you can build a platform that lasts. Now, I know that there are others that come and they don't want, when we put this memorandum of understandings on the ground, to sign. There are others that don't want it. And that is where you know that they are not, their intentions
Yeah.
are not good. But when you have
Yeah.
those, the moment you start seeing breaches of those, you can correct it. And that is where long-term partnerships are built.
Let me ask you, what type of diligence did you and your team do to authentic the absence of infiltrators and within the forces? And can the other forces walk out of the collaboration without notification?
It has happened in many cases. I think you saw
Mm.
how we tried to build the contender force. You saw all of the gamesmanship that were played there. Some are bad intentions, some are good intentions, some is just a matter of greed, and so there are a lot of human vices, normal human vices that come into some of this. But the most important thing that I have always um, laid my trust in is agreements, right? Because
Yeah.
when you do agreements, some of those agreements in and of itself defeats some of the bad intentions that are being brought in. So if your intention is to come and destroy the ADF, and then an MOU is put in front of you that tells you that the ADF chain of command is like this, what is your own chain of command? So that you respect those chains of command, so that I cannot cross over and tell you that, oh, don't fight La République, and you cannot cross over and tell me that, oh, don't. So if your intention was to come and destroy the struggle, those memorandum of understanding already take care of some of those.
Yeah,
So
because
that is
if
where,
you look
yeah,
at if you look at Article 5 of NATO, it talks about collective defense, a commitment to protect each other in the NATO alliance. Do you have a similar clause or article, either written or verbal, when the Ambazonian Defense Force enter in collaboration with other ground zero liberation forces?
that is always part of the platform.
Okay,
And
good.
even in cases where there are no memorandum of understanding, we know
Mhm.
that in most cases the Ambazonian Defense Forces forms the root or the foundation of self-defense in those areas. One of the things that we, as I say, that we know that we are fighting an uphill battle. One of the things that we have always made sure is that we are our brothers' keepers, we are our sisters' keepers. You might be a force independent that is not under the ADF chain of command. So long as we see you working for the liberation of Ambazonia, you are under attack, the ADF, you call the ADF, the ADF is always there to give you backup. Because we know that if they take you out, it weakens the defense of our land, because they will easily now pass through that area, and maybe our forces in another area
Yes.
will be threatened. And
Yes.
if they are threatened, they are not focused on pushing our lines, so increasing our stabilized zones. They will now be in a defensive position. So if a neutral unit is on the other side doing good work and they are under attack, we always support them so that they remain there, because that way it liberates part of
If
our territory, and we
yeah,
can focus somewhere else.
that's really good strategy. That is really good. Even if there are other forces not working with you all get it, you all collaborate with that, and that is good. That is good. Can you tell us about your relationship style? How do you work with your team, including the generals, commanders, and fighters in high a pressure environment, in a high and pressure environment? Can you tell us about your leadership style?
Um,
Yeah, but if it's
Amanda, so you, it seems
yeah,
as if you brought me out, here in order to present me to the Ambazonian people. I
yes,
I have a
no,
we have a lot of real tangible issues that we need to get through to. Um, the requisition, and the acquisition and the supply lines to our forces is really important. The importance of our people to participate in the liberation of their land is very critical, and I hope that you give me some of the opportunity to talk today. But maybe
yeah,
in you asking, look, I am someone who is of the opinion that a single person cannot be able to build a community. It
that's so true.
takes communal effort. And
Yeah,
so the pride, part of my pride is seeing the incredible work that Ambazonians in different fields do. I see it, and I take inspiration from someone like the leader of the liberation, my
hmm
colleague,
Yeah.
Ayaba,
Dr. Yabachu.
and his successes, his attitude, the way that he manages himself, I get a lot of pleasure out of that, as I do with the OGC, right? That I can sit
Mm-hmm.
back and I say that, you know what? I can die today and the struggle will not die, because there is the OGC, there is the SG, there are the DDCs, there is even someone like a PS,
Yeah.
and you. So what I'm saying is that part of what I look as my goal in leadership is empowerment, to empower people to be able to take over what I do and push it forward. Because two, three, four, five of us is a lot better than one of us.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
it's a matter of making sure that it's not just one leaders, that we have a lot of leaders on the
Yeah.
ground and at the level of the war council. And if we fail in that, that is part of my failure as the leader of the war council.
Let me ask you, when you hold a meeting with Dr. Cho Ayaba, how is your setup and expectation?
We hold meetings lying on the bed, we hold meetings in the car, we hold meetings sitting at the table.
We have a problem with, I'm sorry, we have a problem, I'm sure, with internet, and we'll be right back. We'll be right back. Let's, um, we'll be right back. I'm sorry, we just had a internet problem, and they'll get it fixed, and we'll be right back. Thank you for watching. Yep. Any commercial or music? Oh, we're back. We're back. I'm sorry we had a little listen. So we're back. Um, Chairman, yeah. Are you on with me? Okay, Papa. Yes.
I am.
So I
I'm
went back. Yes. Say when you hold, I'll still go back that same question. When you hold a meeting with
very
Dr. Ayabacho, how is your setup and expectation?
clear.
I don't know what is going on with the internet. Okay. Still, we have a problem again with internet. We have a problem ground zero. What I'm going to tell you all now is go whoever the people of the diaspora everywhere, please. Donate. Okay. Okay. You're back. You're back. You're back. Let me go to the next question. Let's dive to the next. Who is your greatest? What is your greatest? I know you've said a lot of the greatest failure. What happened with the forces? But let me just to brush up things again. What is your greatest failure so far in leading the War Council and the Ambazonia Defense Forces? And what did you learn from it? I know you told us a lot of things, how what you did, but still, brush it up and tell us what you learned from it and
You
what is the way
know,
forward.
I can choose a lot because I am not a perfect man.
Yeah.
But I think that at this moment, my greatest failure is the lack of the mobilization of the Ambazonian people um, to support the Ambazonian defense forces to the level that the war should have ended. Um, when I sit down and I look at the effort that the Ukrainian people are putting in facing one of the greatest armies the world have ever seen, then the greatest failure that I have is the lack of the mobilization of the Amazonian people to that level of absolute focus on the defense of our land. As I speak to you, there is a lot of Ambazonian people that still believe that this war is optional. That might question why I have the right to tell them that it is their obligation to support the defense of our land. That is a failure. That 4 years into the struggle where we are, we still have Ambazonians that still think that this is optional or that they are going to be doing me or those who advocate for communal support to the war effort, that they are doing us a favor. That is an oxymoron. That is the head turning to the tail and the tail becoming the head. Right now, without fear or favor, without it being a threat to anybody or anything, every single Ambazonian is obliged. It is their role, no matter wherever you find yourself in the world, to join the war effort to liberate our land.
True.
When your country is under threat, there is no wiggle room. And in the course of this, I'll address some of those wiggle rooms that people
Mm-hmm.
have used, which is like, why do you not go down there and fight? Pardon my language, but that's bullshit. That's crap. And it is advanced by who look for any little wiggle room not to participate in the liberation of our land. Some will use where they are.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I live in Germany. Oh, I live in England. I live in America. And nobody can force me to do this. It is my right. They use rights won by the blood and sacrifices of those whose country they are living under to dodge out of participation in the liberation of their own land. That will not fly. Let me say this. The Ukrainian people were living under a democratic society where a comedian became a president. They had all the rules that they needed in place to get into the European Union, the quote-unquote bastion of rights. When faced with an existential threat, with an invading army that got into their land, what was the law that they passed? No men within a certain age group was allowed to leave the country. That's a law that they passed. All of them to the front line, defend your land. That is a democratic. So don't come and you say nobody can tell you, nobody can force you. That's a democratic society with laws that govern against that. But if at a moment when they are facing an existential threat, all of that goes out of the window, and it is your obligation, your right to be forced to participate in the defense, in the common defense of the land. And every single Ambazonian falls under that, and we will hold them accountable, no matter where you live, no matter whether you live in heaven. You have to participate in the war effort, and don't come and you say that, oh, I am doing the refugees. I'm not there in the war.
It's not my thing.
Look, and I say that is part of my
That
failure.
you are war. That will not war.
Yes, maybe it's because I had not been speaking in these terms, and that's why I say that maybe that is my biggest failure.
Yeah.
But this is not an obligation. It's not something that you are doing for me. It is a common obligation to all of us. And nobody, no one have any wiggle room. Now you tell me that the Ukraine president is there fighting, go and fight in your land. Give me the opportunity to do it then. He is able to stand there and fight because they are being, he is being funneled the materials that he needs.
Exactly.
The United States government just put $13 billion on the table for them. The European Union, they are sending guns and bullets and bombs and Stinger missiles. It's going in. Now you don't buy one bullet. I need to come out. The CIC need to come out. Man, Najella, the OGs, all of them need to put themselves on the line, begging for bullets to go down. And in order for you to sleep quietly, you want to take out those voices so that we go on the field and no bullet. And that will achieve your aim.
Kill
the struggle.
Yeah.
So those wiggle rooms are no longer there. We will stand and demand every single person, every single Ambazonian, every single family must register their name for the war effort, or they will be held accountable. Mark my words.
Yes, bro. We heard you. I hope they heard you very well and clearly, because it's about time. It's about time all of us get involved. I don't see why some people will decide to sit and just say it's not my thing, and then they feel so comfortable. It's a shame, but that is the truth. It's what is happening. A lot of them are not participating in this war. They think some of us that are involved, where we've kind of lose it. But as you say, they will be held accountable. They will be held accountable, really, with time. Okay, some of our generals have been killed in active service and in line of duty while defending Ambazonia, and their bodies shipped from Ambazonia to La Republique du Cameroon. For example, General Alvu, General Fiango, please correct me if I'm wrong. Going back into history, Article 120, Paragraph 6 of the 1949 Geneva Convention number 3 provides prevention with regards to possibility to return of remains to the home country of descent military personnel. Furthermore, we have explained, we have furthermore example of 1992 Finnish Russia, and the 1979 Estonian Russian agreement on war debts. Indeficient to return respectively. Has the War Council started working on a comprehensive protocol or documents facilitates the return of the bodies of some of our forces that Cameroon took their bodies?
Thank you, Mana. I think what you are asking is one of the questions that La République du Cameroon have instituted a terror policy of taking our soldiers, taking their remains, and disposing of them. And if the Ambazonian Defense Force is working on a protocol
Yeah.
concerning that. Look, there are clear protocols that are already, we don't need to reinvent the wheel, right? There are clear protocols that have already been established and that is agreed upon as international norms. But one of the things that we have never been, how can I say, that we have always known is that we fight with an enemy that no rules, a barbaric people who have no compunction about burning, killing children, shooting them on the streets, burning the homes with old and infirm people, murdering children in schools, cutting the heads of people like Sam Sawyer, burning corpses beyond recognition that they have massacred, renditioning from foreign countries against international norms, people into their jail. We have a long list of these people carrying horrific acts against every contravention. What we have been very clear about is that we are not going to fight on a different playing field. The field that La République has established and the rules that they want to fight the war under, we are going to meet them on that playing field and we will beat them there also. That's why it is very clear any La République soldier who falls on the ground, if our forces are not able to confiscate those bodies for what they are doing to our forces, their families will receive those bodies not in full. We are very clear. We will not fight an asymmetrical war with La République du Cameroon. The rules, since the world has decided that La République du Cameroon can break any rule and get away with,
Yeah.
We will fight them method for method. We will match them method for method on the battlefield.
Wow. Wow. You and your team started working on the pop factory a very long time ago. What prompted you to share the final product with other forces, and why you did not keep it only for use by the Ambazonian Defense Forces?
Mana, with with all due respect, see, the Ambazonian Defense Forces is the army of Ambazonia. Most of um, those who go out today and fight under different umbrellas, they came out of the Ambazonian Defense Training Schools, be they in Dadi or those that were organized in Teke, and then the one that General Carrot organized in Goktunja, where no PT came out of. So all of look, our biggest, our greatest issue is the liberation of Ambazonia. I know that our people are sometimes so gullible that they don't look at facts that are on the ground. They listen to the lies and the fabrication that people say and do. Our actions, if our people really look at our action, they will see an army that is very, very willing and understand the notion that we are facing a well-funded, well-trained, well-backed, brutal army on the other side, and we need all 8 million people on the job to beat these people. The ADF will do it. We know that we are winning, but we will win faster. We will get our freedom so much faster if we have this collective of effort, if we have 8 million Ambazonians on the job.
Yeah.
That is why we develop technologies and export them so that we cripple the enemy in this our block by block strategy everywhere in the territory. It makes no sense to me to keep a technology in Bamenda, in Mezam, or in Momo, or in Manu, when I could deploy that technology in DOP, in Uku, and it affects the enemy. What do I gain? I don't gain anything. I instead suffer our people, add more years to the struggle. That is why it is very, very critical for the Ambazonian people to gather in a collective as a people, support the Ambazonian Defense Forces for us to end this war. And we will do it.
That's true. That's true. The reason why we ask that question, because some of the forces that are not working under the structure of the Amazonian Defense Forces and the sister forces, they are so mean to Amazonian Defense Force, to ADF forces. And that's why sometimes people get confused that why is it that the other forces are not good? They're looking for a way to kill you people, the ADF forces, and then the ADF forces are still showing kind to them. And when they come, they take those very materials that you people give them, they come and then use it on the Ambazonian Defense Force. But anyway, you've explained to all, as I know, that Ambazonian Defense Forces is for Ambazonia, is for all. And that's why you are
Let
doing
me
that.
add, yes, let me
Oh, God.
add something to that.
Mhm.
A lot of the posturing by some of these people is just empty nonsense, right? So there is an
Mhm.
understanding that there are two fields of play. There is the war going on in ground zero,
Mhm.
and there are cartels that are formed out here that try to present themselves as being in control of the war effort going down there. Okay. So a lot, 90% of these people are absolutely clueless, and their effort is meaningless and minute on the field. Sometimes they succeed in a few cases in actually turning the heads of some of these boys with money that they will do for a few months, and then they discover what it means to maintain an army or even one unit for a year, and suddenly they are incapable, and these units turn rogue because they have gotten out of
Mhm.
the ADF command and control. And that is where some of the kidnappings and armed robbery come about, because these units now lack the support that they gain under the ADF command and control. So
Okay.
what we
Yeah.
know is that you might
Mhm.
hear these people, they talk so big and so loud out here, and you think that they have this
Yeah.
wide range of support on the ground, but they don't. So for
Yeah.
some of these independent units, we are still able to work with them, transfer technology for them to work on the war effort. Because one of the things that we always do is that we set the strategy, set the agenda, and if those units fit into that strategy agenda, if it's the block by block, if it is the pop strategy that we put in place in order to prevent these mechanized units entering into villages and burning them, surrounding villages, and burning them and taking them out, which we have reduced with our pop effort, that they are no longer able to move. So we don't mind, because it safeguards our villages at the end of the day. That is what the defense forces is all about.
Yeah. Okay. That's why we're gonna say the Ambazonian Defense Forces is what makes them the forces for all Ambazonian. Yeah. So it is confirmed for all people to know that Ambazonian, the ADF forces, they are not for ADF, what people assume or they claim that is for other ADF for a particular, but it is for all people from what is on the ground. From what we say in the structure that they've put is for every Ambazonian, all the fighters on the ground, those that are cooperating with ADF, those that don't even want to, they try all means to bring them together so they can cooperate and walk along. So now forces, Ambazonian, the Amazonian Defense Force is for all. Know that they are not enemies. They are not our enemies, as some people claim. They are not our enemies. They are for all the forces, all Amazonians. As long as you have the good mind to work with them, they'll work with you. Okay, is that not it, Papa? Or I'm saying something different?
That is absolute
So,
brilliant.
so I'm telling you all to go, to donate, how to send money donation and commit to the liberation force is online. You have the method of worldwide donation. The website is whttps.tof.net. Please donate, donate for the ADF forces. They have this what they call 1,000 operation. Their operation going on now, operation 10,000 bullets. 10,000, now 100,000 or 10,000 bullets. So please
100.
donate, Amazonia. Please, you all should come and donate. Please, I'm begging, donate. We all, is for all. Ambazonia is going to be for everybody. It's not for a particular people. So everybody should be involved. Please, all of us should be involved. Thank you. I'm begging. Please, please, please. Yes, Papa, I'm going now. Let's go. Okay. Going back to history, article, paragraph. Let me see. Maybe I've just mixed things up. 6, 6, 4, 5. Okay, this is it. I have so many questions. So, Papa, don't be worried. Okay, we say there's
You
so
know,
many.
I think you just spoke about the operation 100,000
Yes.
bullets, and I think that I want to spend a little time on that,
Yeah, be
because
talking while I'm looking. Yes.
okay,
Then you come back.
because this is absolutely critical, and as I say, um, we can decide as a people to end this war right now. And it is no longer
Hello.
an obligation for us to do that, it is a necessity. I know that a lot of Ambazonians are looking in awe at the Ukrainian people and what they are doing to an army. I just want to a world power. I just want to use this opportunity. Um, Manna, are you getting me? Are you
Yeah, I'm
getting me
getting you
clear?
clearly, very clearly.
Okay.
Yes.
Good. I just want to use this opportunity to talk to the Ambazonian people about the lessons that we are learning and we need to learn um, in certain situations. You see the hubris of the Russian army that believe that it is going to roll over Ukraine in less than a week and achieve its objective.
Mhm.
What has emerged is the fact that never underestimate the will of a people fighting for their freedom, fighting for their land, fighting in the land of their birth. If there is nothing else, the Ambazonian people have demonstrated that. When Mr. Paul Biya, in all arrogance, thought that in a matter of days they were going to roll over the Ambazonian people. What has been demonstrated in Ukraine? What has been demonstrated? I am seeing a call coming in from the technical team, so I don't know if I am
Yeah, you
still
can
good.
answer. You can answer. You can answer.
Okay.
Answer. While I'm just saying something. Yeah. So Ambazonian, please, this is a time for us to contribute, put ourselves together, all of us come together. We should try and contribute and donate money in order to win the war. This is a time that everybody everywhere you have to do something, and it doesn't matter. I know there are a lot of you that are saying that, oh, I don't want my name to be, if I send the money they will see my name, or I don't want to be involved. You can still be involved, but sitting in the back, sitting in the back, but involved by sending your money to all those places, to TOF, to all those places. Even call some of us that we are involved. Mami Wali is there, Capo Daniel is there, Mr. Ashu Lucas is there. Everybody, call them and tell them you want to donate silently. They will not call your name, but they will have your record that you are donating, you are contributing, so that we can move this war forward in order to go back to our land. Our people, you have all have seen how our people are suffering. You have seen how children, especially children, they are now wandering the streets. Some of them not going to school for how many years now? They don't know their left from their right. Look at the girls. They've turned out to prostitute. They are going hanging out. out in Douala, where they say Douala or Littoral or La Republic, and you see the other day that the houses were all demolished. They're standing there, they don't have nowhere to go. Please, this is the time for us, all of us, to just come together, We don't have no time to be fighting between ourselves. Any fighting is to donate money. If you want to fight, you want to make a difference. It's making a difference, it's not talking. Donate your money to tough. Give your money where it is needed. Operation 100,000 bullets for ground zero, so our boys should have the weapon to fight, the bullet to fight. I'm begging you, I'm begging all the Ambazonians to come together. We don't have to agree, but we have something in common, that we want our country to be free, to be independent. And so that is why we are here today too, begging. You have there's the line is there, the online money. You can go to tough, they will pay you. You donate your money silently. You can go, there's one in Canada. If you don't have the American line, call Canada, is right there. Call them, put the money, please. We need it. It's all of us. It's not only particular people that we're going to be begging, telling you people. Just talking. We are, it's just fortunate that we are the front runners. We are here to put our faces and everything to talk about it. But some of you just sitting back there and don't say nothing, that is no help. If you want to help our struggle, you want to help us to our land to be free, like, then please donate. Welcome back, Papa. Let me go to question. I'm sure the line is okay. Can you hear me?
I can get you if you get me.
Okay, Papa, that's good. So now I'm going to question 5. I mean to question 10. We have a monthly fundraising event coming up, and the ongoing 100,000 bullets campaign. What appeal do you make for Ambazonians and friends of Ambazonians to give donation and commit? What? Please help that. You are here. This is the time. Just tell them.
This is really the time. This is the time when I don't think that I need to go further to explain to the Ambazonian people the necessity, and explaining to them um, a likely scenario, how things might happen. They are seeing it with their own eyes. And all I can do is use what our Ambazonian um, is use what sorry about that, is use what our Ambazonian people are seeing with their own eyes right now and explain our situation with. So this is critical. As I before I got frozen, I was talking about the the army from Russia, how they are stymied, how they have come to almost a stop inside Ukraine. What you are seeing is a lack of logistics, how logistics work. They have the tanks, they have the cars, they have everything, but the supply lines, the logistics to put those into the field has been crippled. And that has crippled one of the world greatest one of the greatest army the world has ever seen. Right? Now, what
Yep.
we have identified, the Amazonian Defense Forces, our intelligence unit, has been able to identify two lines of supplies.
Wow.
For La Republique's army in Ambazonia. My fellow Ambazonian, think about us getting those of supply, even for 1 month. Think about the dramatic effect this is going to have around some of their bases that are in the hinterlands of our nation right now. We have already identified that. We have identified that location, but for months now, the Ambazonian Defense Forces cannot deploy, or I cannot approve that operation because we don't have the requisite amount of ammunition that can shut down those supply lines for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. For me to gather those ammunition to be able to do that, that is going to bring down the level, ground it down the level of activity all over the territory to almost zero in order to shut down those supply lines. Then it will not have any effect because they will be sitting in their bases, they have nothing. We will be sitting, we have nothing. And so it's still stalemate. It's still stalemate. So when we are talking about, and one of the things that I am begging is that let it not be a drip sort of thing. It has no effect. Let us have in the armory the ability to put down this 100,000 ammunition and begin this operation. And for 6 months, we maintain the level in the armory at this 100,000, and you see the dramatic effect. The dramatic effect this will have in our territory. Take a look. If tomorrow you are sitting there and I'm telling you on a map that look here, the Ambazonian Defense Forces have pushed these guys, and we have kept this is the demarcation of the Ambazonian state. Imagine tomorrow I'm telling you, how will you feel? How will you feel? This is the level that we are. This is the level that just maintaining an armory of 100,000 bullets. That is the dramatic effect it can have. That I am no longer talking to you in terms of explaining scenario and explaining stabilized zones. I will have the confidence to stand in front of you and be showing you in map terms, because I know that La Republic intelligence will be seeing it, but they will not come. Because they will enter into a quagmire like the Soviet army is facing in streets, because we have cut their supply lines. This is how incredibly important this drive is. My fellow Ambazonians, $250,000 get us there. We have enough people in one state in America that do not have to go above $200 to get us this, to get us there. And that is why we are beginning to hold every single Ambazonian, no matter wherever in the world you are, you will be held accountable. And there is no this wiggle room that, oh, I am this effort, oh, I am that effort, oh, who are you to tell me that? Based on where I am in the struggle, based on my history in the struggle, my background, and what I have been able to do, I am in the position to tell you that you will be held accountable. So go to TTOF, make your commitment, because if all of us make our commitments, you will have Your family, your name will have the receipts tomorrow to be able to show when you are called to account of where were you when your nation was facing this existential threat. Because that question, ladies and gentlemen, is coming. That question is coming and will come. In Ukraine, it is coming. In Russia, it is already there, as it happened in America, and every single struggle
So,
in Somaliland, in Eritrea, in South Sudan, whether you are in the diaspora or on the ground, it is your civic duty, and you will
responsibility.
be held accountable. That is not a threat.
That
That
is
is
a
not a
right.
threat.
You have to do it.
It is not a blackmail.
Yeah.
No, it is your obligation as
Yeah.
citizen of Ambazonia. Do
Oh,
this,
thank you. Thank you,
Ambazonia.
Mr. Benedict.
We can do this in groups of ones and twos, in groups of tens, in jangis. This time, as we look at a people pulling together and the world pulling to support them, understand this. We had never believed, because we are Africans, that there were any
Yeah.
godfathers coming for
Mm.
us.
Mm.
As the US Congress is able to galvanize billions of dollars for the Ukrainian people, it allowed their leaders to be at home to just manage the war effort. For us, we have to be out and about. We have to do this ourselves. We are the ones we have been waiting for. Our motto is that we will win this war, right?
Yeah.
That I will fight, I will save, I will sacrifice, I will endure, I will fight cheerfully and do my utmost, even till death, as if this issue of this our struggle depends on me alone. That's our motto, right?
Yeah. It
Every
is.
single Ambazonian must internalize that motto and demonstrate it. Let us get this amount of ammunition flow into the war effort, and I promise you, put me in the firing squad tomorrow. We will win this war. I will start showing you in maps
Amen.
our stabilized zones that are under towns that are under control, knowing that I have shut off La Republique supply lines and will crush them inside our territory.
Mr. Benedict Kuah, big bad boss. You said it all. You said it. And let me just say, some of people are scared to give money, that they're gonna get us. The Americans are gonna say we are sending money illegally, we are doing this, we are funding the war. Look at what is happening in Ukraine. They are the ones funding in a foreign country, all these people. So you have to know that what you are doing, us as Ambazonian funding our war, is right, eh, Papa? Is it not right? They
They
shouldn't be
are
scared.
Everybody are invoking the right to self-defense is sacrosanct. I just
Aha.
think that
You all
God
listen.
God in his many mercies have used
Listen,
the Ukraine
Ambazonians.
to show Ambazonians that stand for your land. Nobody will be able to say anything to you. You have the right
Tell
to
them.
defend your land. It is a right enshrined in natural law and in all the international laws.
Thank you. Thank you. It's good that you clarify it for them and let them know. So no excuses. They are not going to stand and say, no, it's because I was scared that this. They've seen it, and you've told them now, and they are saying what is happening. So it's your place to donate. It's there. It's right there, open for you all to see. That donate. There are places to donate. There are people to call. The numbers are all open, and so we have no excuses. Okay, Papa. We're going to move to the last, but not the least question for us. To go off. We've been talking for a while. Please give a word of motivation and encouragement to the forces on ground zero and potential recruits to join the Amber Defense Forces. Please, you are honored for that. Can you, as a chairman,
One,
defense chairman?
one of the things that I have never ever been shy about is the acknowledgement that the most important people in Ambazonia, our best resources, is those who have offered their lives up so that our dreams are realized. I make this analogy. And our forces should listen very clearly, because they really, I don't think they understand the level at which I, as the chairman of the War Council, hold them, and how I see them, and the War Council collectively sees them. In order to free mankind, God sent his only son, who gave his life up so that others might live. Is that different from the boy now in Bolifamba, who have left his home, stand on the street, prepared to die so that his village might be saved?
What difference?
Is that different from the boy in Jotin, in Furawa, in Bechati, in Mankon, Munya? Is that different from these men and women coming out and saying that I am willing to die so that others might live? Is that different? So these are gods to us, for they gave up their life so that we might live.
Where?
That is how our country, Ambazonia, must ever, forever hold them in their esteem. They are the gods of Ambazonia. So we owe you, my fellow soldiers on the ground, a debt of gratitude that we can never repay. We will support you to our last breath, because you are the greatest commodity our land will ever produce. The never again generation. The generation that all other generations will revere. The generation that is setting the character of who we will be tomorrow. Soldiers, officers, you are cafe, then day up. We thank you, we honor you, and know that you have in the War Council people who will go to death for you, who will do everything to mobilize the resource so that you end this war. You have already won the war for us. Your people need to back you. And every single Ambazonian, women and men, your country needs you. Join the war effort. Resist. If you are a Bayam Selam, no sell kola nut for those people. If you be mommy where you did, you distribute water, no give water for them. No joy for the wicked.
No joy for the wicked.
North to south, east to west, everybody, whether you are in the farm, in the market, or in the bushes, resist, resist, resist. You are all the army of Ambazonia.
Where, Chairman, I just thank you. Thank you for coming, Papa. Thank you for giving this lecture and this doctrine and all this truth for our people. We need that. You are the war council. From the war council, you come and then outline everything where it happened. You open yourself to the world, to Ambazonians, to know what is going on. I really appreciate you. I do appreciate you because not everybody, people are sitting right at the back and don't want to say nothing, just be talking online. But if you can put yourself out here, to be truthful, to be plain, to be ultimate for Ambazonians. Ambazonians, give cafe. Your cafe day up, Papa. Your cafe day up. Your cafe day up. I thank you very much. I thank you. Thank you for showing up.
Thank you, Mana. Thank you a lot for the opportunity.
Well, Papa, thank you and God bless you. God bless you. God bless your family. Let's keep hope alive. And one day we'll get to Boya. We are on our way to Freedom Land and we stay
Have no
strong
doubt.
and stay tight. Yes. Thank you for all your work. Thank Una, all people for Work Council. Thank the leader. When I take with the roadmap that you people have. I thank you all. Thank you. And Papa, bye for now. I'll talk to you later and see you.
All right.
God bless you. God bless
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Let me just say bye. Tell the people on the ground and talk to them, and that's it. Where my people on the ground, all Ambazonians, I just want to thank you all for watching us, listening to Chairman Benedicta, and he said everything that was in my mind. That is all of you, the truthful Ambazonian. That is what you want. You want to hear. He came out here and said everything. Oh, let me just speak in Beijing. He come out here, Papa Mami and Papa them. He talk everything for you all. And so there's nothing with me if he talk. If he put them on top of that, just to tell you all that I thank my brothers, the way they fight, my picking, the way they fight, where they hold ground for us and keep up the good work. We are all up here. We are fighting and making sure that you all have the materials. And we thank you very much. And I say, you pray for me and I will pray for you. And all of us, we should pray for each other. That is the Ambazonian way. And good night. Love you, Ambazonian. Good night. Love my country. God bless. Ambazonian.
Najella, 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 Najella. Who's fighting for freedom? Najella. From southern to northern zone. Najella. Mama Amazonia. Najella. A land we could call our own. Amazonia. Najella, Najella. Najella, Najella, Najella. Najella, 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 mana, Najella, Najella, Najella. She's fighting for freedom, Najella, from southern to northern zone, Najella, Mama Ambazonia.